Hello, my name is Florence Briceño, and I'm a leader with Our Lady of Guadalupe Catholic Church, which is a member of Austin Interfaith. In April, we held a community forum with our parishioners to share and explain CodeNext and how it could possibly impact our community. We had 120 in attendance and broke out into 10 groups to hear people's stories and concerns relating to zoning. One story was about our church. In 1907, Our Lady of Guadalupe was originally located at 5th and Guadalupe, west of I-35, until outside consultants influenced the mayor and council members to forcibly displace Mexicans and African-American families. As a result of the master plan, Our Lady of Guadalupe was relocated to East Austin, currently located at 9th and Lydia. A subsequent zoning change led to a meeting between developers and representatives of Our Lady of Guadalupe, in which one developer pointed at our deacon and said, "You people need to move east of 183. On a personal note, in the 1940s, my grandparents purchased their home at 97 Rainey Street. I was fortunate to have had both sets of my grandparents live in East Austin, where I could walk through the neighborhoods and visit with them often. However, in 2004, the city of Austin rezoned their neighborhood. Developers and real estate agents pressured my grandparents to sell, with the intent to encourage development near the Austin Convention Center. Subsequently, my grandparents moved. Have you ever wondered what happened to the families on Rainey Street? Well, let me tell you what happened to my grandmother. She went through depression, she was sad, she was lonely, but she was never angry because she knew God would always provide for her and her family. I'm the granddaughter to her. We're a huge family. And it was heartbreaking to watch our grandmother go through that, missing her families, missing her neighbors, missing the community, missing the homeless that would come and visit her as she fed them often. My grandmother had a loving spirit and a loving soul, and she was robbed by her neighborhood, by taking her neighborhood away from her. What developed was the fast life now known as the Rainey Street Entertainment District, with multiple high-rise condominium buildings. This continual culture change is destroying generations of families. Neighborhoods, racial, ethnic composition, and Austin history. Sadly, the city of Austin didn't preserve the Rainey Street's historic and residential character. So we are here today, again, this time before you to explain that if CodeNext version 3 passes, parishioners and longtime residents of East Austin, including seniors and families of color, will once again be displaced. Restrictions on non-conforming lots and unnecessary upzoning of SF3 lots will lead to displacement. Moreover, the change from use-based to form-based zoning in our neighborhood will accelerate displacement again. Our church was displaced once due to zoning. Today, we are here to work with you so that people of the East Austin community are not displaced again and that generations of families and cultural traditions remain intact. We are against CodeNext in its current form, but we are here to propose how you can make it better. Thank you.
Thank you. So Reverend Michael Floyd is the next speaker. You had some time that was donated to you. Is Isabel Guerrero here? Thank you. Is Dorothy Doolittle here?
Yes.
Yes? Okay. So you'll have 9 minutes, Reverend. And the next speaker will be Zita Esterday. Is Zita Esterday here? You'll be at this next podium. Sir.
Good morning. As you've heard, I'm Michael Floyd, a member of All Saints Episcopal Church, speaking on behalf of Austin Interfaith, a nonpartisan, broad-based coalition of 36 congregations, schools, and nonprofits working for the common good. As a homeowner in East Austin, I have seen how skyrocketing property values creates undue pressure on middle-class homeowners. Between 2016 and 2018, the assessed market value of my home more than doubled, causing my taxes to rise astronomically. I know from the many small group conversations in our member institutions all over the city that my family is not alone. Austin is in an affordability crisis. Housing is increasingly unaffordable for growing numbers of low and middle income residents. Families with children, seniors, and people of color, particularly in East and South Austin, are being pushed out of the city. Before we at Austin Interfaith take positions on issues like this, we listen carefully. In addition to the small group house meeting campaign that I already mentioned, we conducted civic academies on CodeNext at our member institutions, where we taught the basics of CodeNext and broke up into small groups to hear how this would impact residents. At Our Lady of Guadalupe, as you've heard, over 120 people attended. We held similar sessions at my church, All Saints Episcopal, Wildfire Unitarian, University United Methodist Church, and we have others planned. While recognizing that any land use code will not entirely solve all affordability housing problems, Austin Interfaith nevertheless believes that if our land code is guided by two basic principles, it can help to mitigate the crisis. First, displacement due to skyrocketing land values, housing costs, rents, and taxes should be minimized. Recognizing the injustice of historic land use practices that discriminated against whole segments of the community, extra care should be taken to prevent further discrimination of this sort. Second, for Austin to have an inclusive and diverse population and be welcoming to both old and new residents, there must be a wide range of affordable housing options based on the preservation of existing affordable housing stock, encouraging such alternatives as co-ops and mobile home parks, and incentivizing new construction for the full spectrum of incomes. The hundreds of citizens that have participated in our house meetings and civic academies have concluded that CodeNext falls short of these goals. We therefore oppose CodeNext in its present form, and we are here to making suggestions as to how it might be improved. We believe that it can be improved in at least the four following ways. First, entitlements in residential zoning categories above and beyond those provided in the present land use code should not be granted by right, but should be calibrated to incentivize the construction of affordable units in all parts of the city. Second, something more or less equivalent to the present SF3 zoning category should be retained, and compatibility should be defined in terms that allow neighborhoods to limit undesirable uses, particularly a proliferation of bars. Third, the qualifications for the density bonus should be strengthened so that the privilege of increased density can be earned only by the construction of family-friendly, multi-bedroom units intended for those making 50 to 30% MFI or below. The fee in lieu option should be applicable only when the fee is not less than the cost of a 2 to 3 bedroom unit, and the fee can only be used to fund affordable housing projects. Fourth, provisions regarding nonconformity and noncompliance need to be clarified and framed so that this issue does not keep East and Central Austin homeowners from making the kinds of repairs and improvements that will enable them to stay in their homes. We appreciate the hearings and this opportunity for discussion, but the problems with CodeNext are not resolvable within the projected process and timeline. Because of the number and complexity of the problems, there can be no quick fix. We therefore hope that there will be more time for discussion before any action is taken so that Austin can become as affordable as possible. Thank you.
Thank you. So the next speaker.
Mr. Mayor,
Yes.
I'm assuming that you have provided or will provide that information to us, right?
We certainly can.
Yeah, please do.
Okay.
Gladly.
Thank you very much. So Zita Easterday is at this podium, and then after her is Ari Gernot. Is Ari Gernot here? Okay, you'll be at the other podium. Come on up. Ms. Easterday, you have 3 minutes.